I want to go back to the renderings real quick. I mean, you pointed out in the Marlins Park renderings that the trees were like 20 stories high. What did you think of the renderings of Las Vegas? Is it realistic? Can you even do a retractable roof stadium on 9 acres? And how are they going to pull any of that off?
First of all, I cannot believe that they released those renderings. I really cannot believe it because they're not realistic in any way, shape, or form. And the purpose of a rendering is to get people behind a concept. But if you're not ready with a rendering, it's better to do nothing. The reason why we did 20-story trees is what we were trying to show is that Marlins Park would not look strange in Little Havana where it's all 3-story buildings, that it wouldn't look like an eyesore, that it would somehow fit in with the neighborhood. It was pure showmanship, just so people in the public could have cover. The politicians wanted cover. The problem with the A's renderings is they didn't provide cover, they provided more questions. Yeah. So there is no retractable roof facility in baseball on 9 acres. Let's start with that. Even though they're looking at 30,000 seats, smallest in baseball, which, by the way, you can't say you're going to draw 2.5 million people to a 30,000 seat stadium. That math doesn't add up. They're not going to sell out every game. Nobody sells out every game. It's silly to even think that way. But then when I speak to architects, even architects who design buildings, could a retractable roof go on 9 acres? Maybe, but it would be very costly because it would have to be like a convertible car. You know how a convertible car, the roof sort of folds into itself? So it doesn't take up any more acreage. It doesn't ever go outside the car. It just sort of folds up and then down inside the back seat of the car. I don't know if I described that well, but that's
no, you described it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So could there be a roof that's designed that way? Yeah. Is it really costly? Yes. Is it going to be approved by baseball? Maybe. Are there air rights that Bally's will give them outside of the 9 acres to put columns so you can retract the roof outside of the building? No one's talking about that, but who's going to be at a Las Vegas stadium during the summer before a game if you don't have any cover? And the purpose of a retractable roof is that you open it so A, the grass can get some sun, but it provides shade where you can have fan engagement. And then you close the roof and then air condition the bowl when it's time to play the game. But if you don't have the extra acres, you can't do that. So all of it is interesting to me if they're counting on it being a destination area, if they're counting on people being engaged with the area. But then I was thinking, Casey, the A's in Vegas, that deal, it's only for the ballpark. All of the other building around the ballpark, the development is not owned or controlled by the A's. So the people who would not want a convertible-like roof would be Bally's, because who's going to want to be around there? If you've been to Vegas during the summer, no one is hanging out outside unless they're by the pool. So I just call into question the whole renderings. I don't think it helped them, and I don't think it's realistic.
Well, you mentioned air rights, too. I mean, there's an airport runway right next to there, so there's some other things they would have to negotiate